First off, I want to thank you for having me today. It's been a real honor to meet some of you people ahead of time and understand a little bit about your businesses and the situation that we're in. One of the things that we got to really think about today is we've kind of put ourselves in a fourth and long situation. Now, sure, everybody would like to talk about the economy this and the economy that, but really, we've kind of done it to ourselves. So now we have an opportunity. We are in a fourth and long situation. Sure, the economy's bad. Clients aren't buying. Nobody's spending any money. There's so much bad talk in the news right now. You know, the end of the world's coming apparently. But this gives you the opportunity to shine. As salespeople, you have the opportunity not only to be great, but to be better than you've ever been. Today is going to separate the real salespeople from the pretenders. It's going to weed out the ones that aren't able to sustain their level of success during this time. Anybody can sell when times are good. We've all done that. We've all sold a lot of things before. We all sold a little things in hard times. But this is really going to be the time for you to step up. And you're really going to be able to tell yourself, am I really the salesperson I am? Am I really doing everything I can be? And I think if you really ask yourself those questions, you're going to find out that you can be and that you want to be. I was going around one day in sales appointments and driving around town, you know, and just had a great meeting. The client finally gave me that magic word. They said yes. Man, they said yes. They agreed to a 4-year deal. Some of the biggest revenue I've ever gotten. I was excited, needless to say, right? Who wouldn't be? So I'm driving around, I'm like, wow, you know, it's 2 o'clock, I hadn't eaten all day, and I'm like, man, I'm going to McDonald's, you know? Because, you know, it takes a lot of work to stay in this kind of shape. So, you know, so I'm going to McDonald's, and I'm in the drive-thru, and I'm just happy as can be, and I'm like, man, I'm getting some cheeseburgers and milkshakes, because I love them. I drive up to the first window, pull out my money, give it to the nice lady at the window, and the phone rings. And I said, this is Ed, how can I help? She's like, Ed, it's Tiffany. I'm like, hey, Tiffany, what's going on? She's like, Ed, I got some news for you. I'm like, that's great, so do I got news for you. She's like, Ed, you're going to have to come back to the office because we don't need your services anymore. I said, what? She's like, yeah, we've just made a decision and we're going to go a different direction. Well, that kind of changed everything. I just closed a big deal for you guys and I'm not even getting a chance. You're actually going to let me go. And she said, yes, just could you please come back and get your stuff? All right, so I'm thinking, man, what am I going to do? You know, I've done everything they asked. I made the contacts. I went out there. I put myself on the line. And then they let me go. So I'm driving down the street, and I'm thinking, man, what am I going to do? What am I going to tell my wife? How am I going to make that next paycheck? How's the mortgage going to be paid? And then I started thinking, man, I'm still really hungry. And then I started thinking, wow, I just paid that lady, and then I drove away, and I never even got my food. And that's when I realized, you know what, that really rattled me that day. I was very rattled, and it changed the way I was thinking. And that's one of the things that we cannot let happen to us in this fourth and long situation with the economy we're in, is don't get rattled. There's going to be things coming at you at different angles. There's going to be all kinds of pressures, all kinds of situations that you might not have faced before. But don't let it get rattled. Just stay the course. You know, as my good friend Jim Jacoba says, just do the work. You know, go out there and prospect every day. Do more presentations. Build those relationships. Because this economy is going to come back, and we all know it is. It's just if you can stay the course and you can do what you've been doing, what you know how to do, you'll be successful in a down economy, in a good economy, in a medium economy. So it doesn't matter. So you guys are going to be able to decide if you're going to be successful now, today, and in the future. One of the things that I believe as a salesperson is you're really helping a client. You're solving problems. And we all know that. We're all solving problems. If you couldn't solve a problem for somebody, nobody would take a meeting with you. Nobody would talk to you. They don't have a need. And sometimes they don't have that need because if they did, they'd probably be calling you. And in my sales career, not many people call me. So one of the things that I've learned over the time is I believe the number one goal of a salesperson, number one job of a salesperson is to proactively create the experiences of your client so that their futures will be more predictable. In the insurance business, if you buy my insurance products from me today, I know what's going to happen. Now you say, how do you know that? Well, let me just give you an example. Let's say another hurricane comes in here and wipes you out, takes out everything you got. I know what's going to happen. By using my insurance products, I can tell you within 5 days you're going to have a check from my insurance company, and they are going to give you some living expenses so you can try to get settled, get everything to go. I just predicted part of your future. Number 2, you will have a check and with a group of adjusters to come to your house to assess the damage. That will happen within 10 days. Again, I just predicted your future. Number 3, your claim will be settled in 30 days. So those are some of the examples. If you can relate those examples to your clients of how you can predict your client's future by using your product, you're going to find that more people are going to be willing to do that. Because business is scary, especially for businesses, even individuals, especially now today. But if I can tell you that I can predict your future, 1, it's going to cause a lot of interest. But 2, it's going to make that client feel very comfortable with you, that you know exactly what's going to happen by using their product and service. So if you go into a selling situation and think about that, you're going to find that you're going to attract a lot more people to you, but you're also going to be able to service and satisfy a lot more clients as well. Everybody has leisure time. One of the things I like to do is fish. Anybody here like to fish? Yeah. Great. Fishing's great, you know, and it's funny. Actually, well, let me restate that. I like catching better than fishing, you know, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. So fishing is getting to be more and more like sales the more I think about it. The more I do it, the more I'm like, man, this is just what I do every day. You know, because you know where the fish are. You go to Lake Conroe, you know where that fishing hole is. You're going to drive your boat over there, and you're going to fish and fish and fish in that hole. But sometimes they're just not, you're not catching any fish. So what are you going to do? Just stay there all day? No, you're probably going to go to the next fishing hole. And you're going to fish and fish and fish and fish. And you might catch 2 or 3 there. But what about that one? Because you know the fish are there. What are you going to do with that one? So eventually you're going to have to go back over there and try that fishing spot again, just like in sales. Sometimes you're with that client in that group, and you know they need your product, and you know they want to buy it, but there's just that one little thing. They're just not biting today. So you got to move on. But you got to stay with that client, and you got to stay in contact with them. Because you never know. You could be missing out a grand opportunity with that client if you just stay with them. But us as professional salespeople, we cannot stick to one thing because we still got to bring in the revenue. So by sticking with that client, finding new clients, fishing for new fish, you're going to find out that your success is going to be tremendous. I kind of know what you're thinking. Okay, I've been speaking to you guys for about 45 minutes now. We've enjoyed some stories. But you're probably asking yourself, why am I listening to this guy? You know, he bought a suit yesterday, you know, and he's just up here talking, you know. Well, a couple things. You know, I've been kicked in the teeth a lot in the sales career. And, you know, I've come to find over the times that it's how you react to that when you get up. The greatest athletes in the world, what they do is when they get beat down, that's why we love sports. You know, the underdogs. I mean, whether it's winning Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, you know, catching the winning touchdown in the Super Bowl, we love sports. So my personal experience is, yes, I've read a lot of sales books because I am not the all-knowing everything about sales. I've been bad. You got to be really bad before you're pretty good. You know, I've been there. I've sold nothing. I've gone months without selling anything. I've gone months and days where I cannot stop selling. So I have a lot of experience, and that's one of the reasons why I think that you guys will benefit from some of the things I say. But I think all in all, if there's no other reason to listen to what I say, I've got a big old can of I know what I'm talking about. As I close, I just want to say one thing. As I'm telling you these stories today, I'm looking at everybody, got a lot of people shaking their heads. I see a lot of focus and intensity in your eyes. So just remember this. When it's hard for a reason. It's going to make you better. It's going to make you stronger. And I 100% believe that everybody here today, they have what it takes. I'm Ed Hamilton. Thanks for listening.